Alright everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Tristan. Hope you guys do enjoy your stay here today, showing you the best class ups that you guys can use in Modern Warfare 2 to get high scoring gameplays, get through the camo grinds, and overall just have a better experience on Modern Warfare 2 as of the brand new update. Now, if you guys do enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like down below. The like goal for this video is going to be 20 likes. Also guys, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you guys do enjoy videos like this, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you guys choose to. That way you guys can get up to date whenever I post here on the channel. So the first class that we're going to be taking a look at is for the M4. This is my favorite AR in the game by far, and this one absolutely slaps when it comes down to it. First, for the rear grip, we're using the SAKIN ZX grip. This is going to give you recoil control but losing aiming stability, but it's going to help you keep your shots on target. Probably the best rear grip in my opinion. Now for the optic, we're using the SLIMLINE Pro. This is going to give you a precision sight picture, but you're going to lose aim down sight speed. But personally, this is one of the first optics that you unlock in this game, so it is probably the best one that you can use. For the barrel, we're using the 419mm EXF barrel. This is great because it's going to give you damage range, high hip fire accuracy, and bullet velocity, but you're going to lose hip recoil control and aim down sight speed. So this is going to be really great. It's designed for accuracy and steady target acquisition. Now for the muzzle, we're using the Harbinger D20. This is probably my favorite muzzle to use on ARs because it's going to give you sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. However, you are going to lose aim walking speed, aim down sight speed, and aiming stability. But keep in mind your shots are going to stay quiet and do more damage while recoil is smoother. And lastly, I'm using the Phase 3 for the underbarrel. This is going to give you aiming idle stability, hipfire accuracy, and recoil stabilization while losing walking speed and aim down sight speed. To show you some of the tuning I did on this, I have it at a plus 0.34 for the recoil stabilization while keeping the aim walking and aiming idle stability at 0. When it comes to the muzzle, I have it at a 0.36 for recoil smoothness and a 0.19 plus for bullet velocity. For the barrel, I have it at a plus 0.29 for recoil steadiness and keeping that aim down sight speed at 0, which is perfect in my opinion. As the rear grip, I am keeping it at 0 for recoil steadiness and aim down sight speed, but prioritizing that aiming idle stability at a 0.29. Now for the second gun that we're going to be using the Cast-Off 74U, so another assault rifle. This is probably my second favorite AR, second favorite gun to use in the game. When it comes to the rear grip, we're using the IVANOV ST70. This is going to give you flinch resistance, but lose aim walking movement speed. For the stock, we're using the IVANOV wood stock. This is going to give you aiming stability, but lose aim walking speed and sprint speed. But it is going to be probably the best one to use besides the TAC-ELITE stock. Now for the barrel, we're using the SA Ultra 3. This is really great because it's going to give you aim down sight speed, movement speed, and hip recoil control. But you're going to lose damage range, bullet velocity, hip fire accuracy, and recoil control. But I'd say that still, this is going to be really great if you're trying to rush. Now for the muzzle, we're using the Harbinger D20. This is going to give you sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. Again, the same cons as on the M4 class. As well, the same, we're using the Phase 3 as the underbarrel, which it's perfectly just amazing as is on this class. Now, as you guys can see across the board, I didn't really do a lot of tuning. For the barrel though, I did 0.23 towards the recoil steadiness and plus 0.15 towards the damage range. When it came to the muzzle, I have it at even 0-0, and also when it comes to the rear grip, I have it at 0-0 as well. Now for the stock, same thing basically, but I am going a negative 1.68 for the aim down sight speed, which is a little bit of a difference. For the third gun that is in this, we actually have a blueprint, and this one is the TAC-56, the Hive blueprint. This is the one you can get from the Yellow Jackets bundle, and it is already pre-tuned and everything like that, so it is perfectly fine as is, but I want to go over the attachments at least. So we're using the demo CLEANSHOT grip. This is going to give you sprint to fire and aim down sight speed, but lose recoil control in the process. For the optic, we're using the CORIO Read-X Pro. This is going to give you a precision sight picture with aim down sight speed as a con, which I personally think is okay. This one, actually, I've had a lot of fun using on this gun and one of the other blueprints I'll show you in this video. Now, for the barrel, we're using the 17.5 Tundra Pro barrel. This is going to give you damage range, hipfire accuracy, and bullet velocity. You are going to lose hip recoil control and aim down sight speed, but with it being a longer, more accurate barrel. For the muzzle, we're using the Zulu 60, which is basically akin to the Harbinger D20 because of that sound suppression, bullet velocity, recoil smoothness, and recoil control across the board. You are going to lose, though, practically the same cons at the end of the day. And then lastly, we're using a 40 round mag to have more ammo when it comes to gunfights. The next class that we're using is for the Lockman sub. This is the espionage blueprint, and you guys can see this is pro tuned for sound suppression, recoil smoothness, and aiming stability. So definitely something that I'm really happy with across the board. First, with the rear grip, we're using the Lockman TCG10. This is going to give you recoil control, but lose aiming stability in the process. When it comes down to it for the stock, we're using the FT Mobile stock. This is going to give you aiming stability, crouch movement speed, and aim down sight speed, but you're going to lose aim walking speed, sprint speed, and recoil control. Now for the optic, we're using that same CORIO RE-X Pro. So the precision sight picture, aim down sight speed, again, really amazing to use on this gun and everything like that. Actually, one of the cleanest looking optics in this game. And lastly, we're using the FSS Covert IV for the muzzle. This is going to give you sound suppression, plus recoil smoothness and recoil control while losing damage range, aiming stability, aim walking, and aim down sight speed. Now for the next class, we are using the Chimera. I personally only have 3 attachments on this gun, and it has been an absolute just bombshell using this. And I've actually been able to drop 50, 60 kill games using just these 3 attachments alone. So it is still very good when it comes down to it. First, with the stock, we're using that TRX 56 stock. It's going to give you aiming stability and recoil control, but you're going to be losing a ton of speed, like aim down sight speed, crouch movement, and walking and sprint speed. Now for the optic, we're using the SLIMLINE Pro. It's going to give you, again, that precision sight picture, but lose aim down sight speed and give you an unobstructed view of your surroundings when aiming down sights. And then lastly, guys, for the underbarrel, we're using the FSS SHARKFIN 90. This is going to give you just aiming idle stability, and I personally find it to be really great and clean across the board. Now, the next one that I have for you is the Cast-Off 545. This is the Orbiter blueprint, but I actually did make a couple of adjustments to this. First, I took that optic off of it. You know, the scope I didn't really like on it. And I also added in a few attachments to help make this gun a lot better. First, for the rear grip, we're using the IVANOV ST70. Again, flinch resistant, but losing aim walking movement speed. For the stock, we're using the Markiv R7 stock. This is going to give you crouch movement, aim down sight speed, and sprint speed. It is going to lose some recoil control though, but personally, I don't notice it actually that much. And also, we're using the IG K30 406mm barrel. This is going to give you bullet velocity, recoil control, damage range, and hipfire accuracy when it comes down to it. You're going to lose aim down sight speed, movement speed, and hip recoil control. Now, the first of the 2 attachments I added to this gun are the Harbinger D20. Personally, just because this is going to give you damage range, bullet velocity, recoil smoothness, and sound suppression. Also, we're going to be using the XTEN drop grip. This is going to give you aiming idle stability and hipfire accuracy while losing walking speed. Now, the next one that I have for you is a submachine gun, that being the MX9. This is the Sweet Leather blueprint, and this is a pro-tuned one for precision sight picture, magazine ammo capacity, and a thermal identification optic. Now, starting off at the comb, we've got the SCHLAGER TTF3 riser. This is going to give you ammo reserves, but lose some aim down sight speed. Now, for the optic, we're using the SZ HOLOTHERM. Obviously, this is a thermal optic. It is going to give you a precision sight picture, but you're going to lose aim down sight and aim walking movement speed in the process. There are times where I take this off and just run the iron sights, and I still have done very well, but Now, for the laser, we're using the VLK Laser 7MW. This is going to give you aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, and aiming stability, but it is going to be visible in your aim down sight speed. Now, for the ammunition, we're using the 9mm sub HP. This is going to give you crippling power, but lose bullet velocity and penetration. So that is something to keep in mind when it... Also, guys, we're going to be using a 32 round mag for more ammo, which is going to help us out in gunfights and things like that. Now, the next gun that we're taking a look at is the STB-556. This is an assault rifle, probably one of the better ones I've ever used in this game, and especially here on the channel over the last couple of years, because it is nasty and almost nothing is wrong with this gun. They barely nerf it. Starting off with the comb, we're using the FTAC C11 riser. This is going to give you sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed while losing aiming stability and aim walking speed. Stock, we're using the BRUEN HCR50 stock. This is going to give you recoil control but lose aim down sight and crouch movement speed. For the optic, we're using the CORIO Enforcer optic. This has a precision sight picture with aim down sight speed and aim walking movement speed. It is absolutely overpowered at the end of the day. Now, the highlight of this class is the barrel, the 24.4 BRUEN S620. This is going to give you damage range, bullet velocity, hipfire accuracy, and recoil control. Because of it being a long barrel, it's going to be more accurate at a distance, but adds some weight to the weapon. And I still think that it's perfectly really good no matter what range. We have the ammunition being the 5.56 high velocity to give that bullet velocity, but lose a little bit of damage range. And the last one on this list that we're going to be taking a look at is the Lockman Sub. This is a non-blueprint version, and I personally really like running with this class. I find that it's absolutely overpowered. Starting out with the rear grip, we're using the LM CRONUS grip. This is going to give you flinch resistance, but lose some aim walking movement. Now for the barrel, we're using the FTAC M Sub 12. This is going to give you bullet velocity, damage range, recoil control, hipfire accuracy, but lose aim down sight speed, movement speed, and hip recoil. For the muzzle, we're using the FTAC Castle Comb. This is going to give you horizontal and vertical recoil as pros, but lose aim down sight speed and aiming stability in the process. For the underbarrel, again, we're using that coveted Phase 3 grip, aiming idle stability, hipfire accuracy, and recoil stabilization, but losing that walking speed and aim down sight speed. Lastly, we're using a 40 round magazine as well, so we have more ammo when in gunfights. When it comes to perk packages, for all my classes, I am using the same perk package, that being Bomb Squad and Scavenger for my base perks, Hardline for my bonus, and Overclock as my ultimate perk. Lastly, to show you guys my kill streaks, I'm using the UAV, VTOL Jet, and Chopper Gunner. I stopped using the SAE so I could go for higher streaks like the Chopper Gunner, and I personally really like that decision. And overall, that is the class ups that I have for you guys. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe for more. And with that being said, my name is Tristin. I'll see all of you guys in the next one.